And then it's like, where I'm from, though, we say snitches get stitches. So Gypsy Rose is over here just talking to her dad, telling him all about what Ken's going through, blah, 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 blah. But you're pissed off about it. Why, Gypsy? You're apparently an addict as well. You should be understanding. You know, that's another part of the code of conduct. Like, we don't judge other addicts on their behavior during addiction because we know we've been there.
Y'all. Yeah, so I decided to go live because Ken, he said he had to go to the jewelry store today. And I'm getting real excited. You know, my left hand's kind of empty. I'm really hoping today's the day, you guys. Really, I am. He knows how much I've been having trouble with everybody talking about my mama all the time. And so I'm hoping that maybe he wants to cheer me up. Since, you know, it's just so hard for me to deal with all of that. I'm not a smurder, you guys. I don't do that. You know I didn't have part in that. That was all Nick. My mama is here today trying to take over my life as it is now. So, just waiting. I'm hoping. Oh, hi, Ken.
Hey. Hey, I'm home. I get sick. Thought you'd be in the other room, but what was
You
up?
said you were going to the jewelry
I
store.
didn't go to the jewelry store for you. I went there to buy my mama a necklace. Sometimes, Gypsy, you're just thinking.
Yeah. He's just fooling you guys. I bet you he's got it hidden for another
Don't
day.
tell him that, Gypsy. I told you I bought a necklace for my mama.
He's just lying.
I'm not lying about
Okay,
shit.
I get it. You just got a necklace for your mom.
What is going on? How you doing today? Today we've got another video about the asshole Gypsy Rose Blanchard and how she is being so righteous right now, and Bree, her lovely advocate, can't seem to get any of her facts straight. Let's talk about it, shall we? Well, hello, how are you? How are you doing today? How's your fur babies and everything? They doing good? I hope so. Whoa, that sounded freaking way Wisconsin, didn't it? Oh my god. Anyways, welcome back to my channel. I'm Baby Girl. This is my world, and we love to take deep dives into the Gypsverse, see what the fuck she's doing, and talk about her bullshit for a little while, and then go about our business because we can't handle it all the time. So you guys come here to hear it from me, and then we don't have to find out all over the place and scroll. I've got it for you, bitch. You know what I'm saying? I got you, bitch. I did the looking, I did the listening, I did all of it because I wanted to make this content for you. Okay. Well, what do we always do in the beginning? Member of the video, bitch. Ooh, Moxie, bitch. MK Slay, I love you, bitch. Yeah. You and JoJo are my longest standing members. Thank you so much. I love you girls with all my heart and soul. And then we got our 5 featured subscribers. We've got Christina Leista, Victor Natas, Leanne Ritter. Sorry. Cooch Smooch Magooch. I like that. That's funny. And then Miss Anonymous. I'm sorry if you're anonymous. I'm sorry. Okay. But Gypsy Rose is about to make me have to go stay in a padded motherfucking room. Do you understand? And I'm already nuts. I'm already almost there by myself. But Gypsy Rose, you're tipping my rock up. You know? We gotta get into this though, so come on. Let's go. Cool. I really like how they did this, and I wanted to show you guys. Bree and Gypsy talking about the court system and whatever, and Gypsy says, yeah, well, the judge, he looked over all my medical records, so how could anything blah blah blah. Gypsy Rose, no, he fucking didn't. I had the same response as Becca Scoops, and I was laughing because of that, because of her reaction too, was just like, what the fuck? No, he fucking didn't. For one, a judge is not going to understand what any of that means or says, so he's going to have the defense team hire like Becca says, a medical expert who will come in and, you know, assess the medical records and then tell the judge what they mean. Okay, that is to be done if he's even going to look at them, which he did not. To get a plea deal, they didn't have to, dumbass.
That my case went through. So they're not cracking some kind of...
I'm going to back that up. I want you to hear what she said one more time. This last little sentence here.
To prove their point, those same documents was reviewed by the judge, reviewed by all the court systems.
That's not true. What are you talking about, reviewed by the judge? The judge doesn't review medical files. Are you out of your mind? That's ridiculous. The judge has nothing to do with that. Nothing. The DA goes to the judge and says, we got a plea deal. Judge goes, great. Let's have a hearing. Let's do it. Judge doesn't care. It's the DA's responsibility to say who has a plea deal or what charges are being. The judge is not the trier of that stuff. It's not in his purview. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that. The judge wasn't looking at your medical records. Nobody was looking at them after you got the plea deal, after they accepted it, however they accepted it. It wasn't based on, she wants you to think like everyone in the court, the judge was poring over her medical records, the DA was poring over her medical records, right? That's just not true. There's no evidence of that. Why do I think there's no evidence of that? Because there was no expert. There was no medical expert hired by her defense team. Hence, no medical expert hired by her defense team. What would the DA do just reading random medical notes? He's not a doctor. Why would he read random medical stuff? He wouldn't. It's not his expertise. He would have to look at a report from an expert. And the expert they were going to hire was Dr. Fabian. And Dr. Fabian said, they called me. They didn't need me. How do we know? Because Bree read straight from Stan Field's notes of what went down. And then we have Dr. Fabian saying in the interview, yeah, Mike called me. He sent me a couple medical records. And then a couple months later, he said, yeah, we don't need you. Hence, there was no medical expert hired by the defense.
Wow. Why are you lying about that? I mean, what does that gain? How does that help? Because we know you all do it for a reason. But I not for one second believe that Gypsy Rose was an addict though, because she says and does fucking shit that is totally against the rules of being an addict. When after you become an addict and you've gone through recovery, there's different like rules. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking liars. In my head, I'm like, how do you fucking live with yourself knowing that you fucking lie on people? Like, I really cannot wrap my head around people who constantly lie. And I'm not even talking about like malicious, outrageous types of lies. Well, I guess it depends on how you look at lies, but all lies are generally, bad because they're deceitful. But, I'm talking even about people that are like self-manipulators. Like, they manipulate themselves into thinking like that they're always in some situation, when in reality they perpetuate situations for themselves. They continue to put themselves in shit, or they create stories, they create narratives, they twist shit. That's the lies they tell themselves, and then they like tell the same lies to other people, and after some point they don't even realize they're fucking lying because they believe the shit that they're saying with their own mouth. Like, they believe their lies. Like, these people are fucking delusional. And I'm like, how the fuck do you live with yourself? Like, is life good? Is you good is what I'm saying. Like, are you good that you constantly have to fucking lie to get people's attention? It's like, how do you live with yourself though? Because I can't even imagine creating shit like distorting shit, twisting shit, knowing that that's not true. And like, what do you get out of this actually? Validation? Or is it that after some point you're so scared that you're gonna be exposed that you have to keep lying? Like, I just can't imagine people who lie like this to be at peace. Like, you'll never find peace because you know, like, you've been lying so fucking much.
Like, you just don't do shit. You just don't say that. You know what I'm saying? You don't say that about another person that's overdosed. That's a terrible way to pass away. And that's something that's happened to me. I've passed away. I would never ever say anything bad about anybody having that issue. And here his mom is. He's in prison around the anniversary of the crime. She unalives herself by OD. And Gypsy Rose's response in the emails was, it was probably Nick's karma.
I've always said that Miss Rose is not a rug addict. Nick Godejohn's mom passed away from an OD. Gypsy wrote an email to somebody. I just found out Nick's mother died from an overdose the same week as the anniversary of the crime. It's sad. Part of me feels sympathy, and part of me feels like karma coming back to him. He took my mother. It is absolutely insane the way she just freaking acts. Like, Nick just showed up at her house, just unalived her mom for no reason. Ma'am, you asked him to come do this. You paid for him to get there. You paid for his hotel. You gave him the knife, and then you opened the door wide as hell and let him in. Sent him right back to your mama's room while you went to the bathroom and shaved. You are just as much a schmurder as he is, ma'am. And if that wasn't bad enough, she talks to Ken like he's a piece of S, much like she did to Nick in their emails. You are nothing to me. I don't want you. I don't love you. And if you ask me, I wouldn't care if you OD'd. I'm sorry, but I just can't imagine that coming out of another addict's mouth. Like, I just can't. How interesting is it that she tells Ken, you know what, I don't care if you OD. She tells Ryan, you know what, I'm going to tell the world about you being in recovery even though you kept it a secret for 10 years. And then she says that Nick's mother's passing was his karma. I must say, Gypsy, all these emails coming out, that's your karma. People deserve to see the person you really are. The way you wish death on people and you don't care. You don't care about these people. Miss Rose cares about what they can do for her, what they can give her, what they can make her feel. She doesn't care about nothing else outside of that. She's still keeping this man hanging on. Honestly, she's done nothing but terrorize him since he started emailing her. The things Gypsy Rose has said about this man's body after claiming, my mama used to do. No. You are your mother, bitch. Miss Rose is everything that she has ever said her mama was.
He took my mama. Bitch, are you kidding me? Holy fuck. That would have sent me over the edge. I would have been at that prison trying to break in if I heard you say that, to beat your fucking ass for that, Gypsy Rose. That's awful. And then it's like, where I'm from, though, we say snitches get stitches. So Gypsy Rose is over here just talking to her dad, telling him all about what Ken's going through, blah, 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 blah. But you're pissed off about it. Why, Gypsy? You're apparently an addict as well. You should be understanding. You know, that's another part of the code of conduct. Like, we don't judge other addicts on their behavior during addiction because we've been there. You know what I'm saying? I would never. What people go through during addiction is horrible. I went through it. I died like 3 times because of it. There's no fucking way I'll ever go back to it. But the person that I was during that time is not the person I am today. And it's like, if you love him so much, you would think that you'd be more concerned in wanting him to get help and not be so fucking bitchy and cunty about it. You have a lot of nerve.
Dad, I know why Ken is acting so different. He relapsed and he's getting high. He has a past history of rug abuse and he was clean for the past 4 to 5 years. Then about a week ago, the same night as the one that he did not answer the phone is when he did, I don't know if I can say this word, did Pepsi, not Pepsi, but you know what I mean. I called his mom today and we talked. She said he is a completely different person when he is using. I told her I called off the wedding and now I called off the engagement. I still love him, but I don't love his addiction and he is only pushing me away. So how can I help him get past what it is that he's going through if he won't let me? I told her I'm just letting him be. What else can I do? And then she talks about, I don't know, something else, just random stuff about the classes she's taking in prison. Okay, and then she writes back to her dad again. and said, okay, so update. Ken is not using on the regular. He effed up and he got high only once, allegedly. She goes, and I chewed his ASS out for it. He swears that it's not a problem, like it's not a full relapse. I told my mom, I told Christy, and I told his mom so they can keep an eye on him to watch for signs. And then Rod writes back and says, okay, I never knew he had a past of using. I hope he can stay clean. Love ya.
And then there's other shit that she said that proves that she's never been an addict. That's another thing that she says that addicts know is not. She's like, oh, he didn't have like a full relapse. What does that mean? When you relapse, you relapse. If you don't, you don't. There's no like half or full. So, anyways, that was just another odd thing I wanted to bring up. But, you know, his mother let the pain and the depression get to her so bad, and she was probably having such a hard time, that that's the only way that she felt like she could have peace. You know what I mean? And for Gypsy Rose to say that, you are sticking your foot deeper and deeper into your grave, bitch. I'm not threatening. I'm saying because of your attitude, God, never mind, Gypsy Rose. I'm going to have an aneurysm because of you and your bullshit. Because I talk about you all the time. And it stresses me out so bad. The stuff you say, the stuff you do. Why? Why? Why do you have to be such an asshole? And then it's like, it brings me to this. You went on Wikipedia and you're so vain and so weird about your image that you were trying to change everything under the sun on there. Anything you could.
Accidentally making an omission once again because she went on Wikipedia and she wanted to say that her mother was found dead instead of murdered before dawn on June 10th. Now we all know that she was not found till days later, but why would she want to remove the word schmurdered? And could it tie back to something she has said before? And this is what I'm talking about. She posted this picture with Ken on June 9th, saying it was the first time they got a sonogram of the baby, but also that it would mark 10 years since her mother's death. In other words, she's saying she wasn't murdered on June 10th. Even more interesting than this is June 9th is not the day they got that done. It was actually a few days prior, because the sweet ladies at Chillicothe Prison were sent this sonogram on the 5th of June. Additional to that, she wanted her name removed whenever it came to the description of her and her boyfriend killing her mother. She also wanted it to say that Nick had posted the stuff on Facebook. You know, this post and the other ones. Additionally, she was trying to get this removed, where it says that Gypsy testified on the stand that there was no grape and that the smex was consensual. Now, Gypsy, why would you want that taken out? It's true. What y'all participated in was consensual non-consent. Anyways, I think that people should start watching all of the edits on pages like Nick's, Gypsy's, her mom's, anything to do with the schmurder. Because Gypsy is losing this battle with Wikipedia and it's actually entertaining.